Okay, I have finished 2.1. So now I will go to 2.2. There's another question. Question 2. The questioner said, our mind can only do one thing at a time. And yet simultaneously, he said he could be aware of a lot of other things. Why? Then when it comes to the actual questioning, he asked in a different way. He said, according to Brother Theo, our mind can only do one thing at a time. But in my meditation, how come I could be aware of my in and out breath, and simultaneously I could be aware of a lot of other things, like many other thoughts going on, perception and bodily sensation, etc. Why is it so? So this question is a very good question. I told Kanimita. And I explained to her, I said, you see, when your anapanasati has stabilized, your awareness will enable you to have that ability. Because mindfulness of your, sorry, I had to read back that sentence. Your awareness will enable you to do that. Because mindfulness of your in and out breath will help you anchor your awareness there. With that awareness, which is just the silent mind with inner awareness of the breath, you can definitely be aware of your thought, your perception, your bodily sensation, and tactile consciousness. Because every time when you are aware, you are not thinking or lost in thought. So this awareness of all your other mental activity like perception, tactile, and thought consciousness are actually separate entities. But because your mind can move so fast, it's as if you can multitask them, as if they are all happening simultaneously. When you are aware of the breath, there is no thought. There is mind and breath as one. But the moment you start to arise a perception of what you have perceived, your mental aggregate of sanya, which is perception, has arisen. So it is a separate entity. You are no longer aware. Then what do? Chances are you will deludedly react or grasp onto it via your views and opinion. Unless you have the wisdom, initial wisdom or uniso manasikara, at the moment of sense experience, your feeling will be conditioned into craving of like and dislike almost immediately. So with wisdom, mindfulness, and heedfulness, you can be aware of thought and its content of consciousness. You can be aware at the moment of perception, feeling, and consciousness, etc. But the moment you are lost in thought or preoccupied with what you perceive, then your mind is no longer aware, and you and you have become heedless. The mind that is aware is always silent. Hence, the moment you are aware again, you don't perceive or think anymore. The mind with silent inner awareness is actually the oneness nature that can take in the entire phenomenon or outside. So this part you need to go through the cultivation. You need to stabilize your understanding. When you can stabilize your understanding, you will understand what this awareness nature is all about. Then you will have the ability to see all this and understand all this that I had shared with you all. So that nature within is very, very amazing, very beautiful, very unique. And that one without thought, the awareness nature is actually wisdom energy. It can understand, it can see things as they are, it can awaken. uh, It can insight into phenomena. It can awaken. That's why that nature is very amazing, very unique, and very beautiful. So this aspect of understanding is not easy to develop, because when you are just silent and aware without a center, means that mindfulness nature or the awareness nature within, it is like the oneness nature. When you are there, fully aware, without a center, we call that spacious awareness without a center. Means you don't have a center from where you act from. You don't have an egoic mind. You have this spacious awareness that is just aware. And that one is actually your oneness nature. And very few people can have the ability to be one with everything. Yeah. And that nature is so pristine, so beautiful before the arising of thought. The stability of it is very important. So all of meditation is to train your mundane mind to silence. When your mundane mind cease to be active, cease to arise, then you can realize that nature. And that nature need to be stabilized until it's very stable, until you understand it very clearly. And that nature is the unconditioned, without words, without concept, nothing. The moment you try to create words, concept, and thought process, you are already arising the mundane mind. That's why that nature and the mundane mind, they are very near, very near. But living beings' problem is you have avijja, you have ignorance, you are heedless, you don't have the spiritual faculty. You cannot be with that nature, that silent mind, that awareness. You think a lot, you become heedless very fast. Your habitual tendency and all those things, your ignorance, your delusion, your sacrality, all this condition your mental activity, your thinking, your heedless thinking. Then, because you lack the spiritual faculty, the mental hindrance continuously arise. So every moment of sense experience, like and dislike, sensual desire and ill will, they keep on arising. These are your duality, your reaction of mind, your stirring of the mind through your like and dislike, or pleasant and unpleasant habitual tendency. So all this, you start to observe them, you start to see them in meditation. Without a stable daily mindfulness or awareness nature within, you cannot see all this. And you cannot understand who are you, what are you. That nature, which is separate from that mundane thinking, mundane mind, is your true mind, your true nature. Yeah. And that nature is so beautiful. It's just an awareness nature. It's not a being. It cannot come out and live life. It don't have an entity. But to be able to connect to that nature, you must have a vehicle and a tool karmically conditioned out for you to come to this conditioned world or existential world. That's the uniqueness of that uh, understanding. Because without the karmic nature to condition a form and mind for you to come, that nature cannot be realized. That nature cannot be uh, located. It's only after that form and mind come. That form and mind is like a vehicle and a tool for each and every living beings to arise within this conditioned world. Then when it arises, you must develop the meditative understanding to silence the mundane mind to realize that true mind, that silent mind, the inner nature, the inner awareness within. It's only when you can do that, stabilize that, then you can connect to your true nature. Then only you can inherit your spiritual nature. Then only you can understand what is going on in life. Then only you can meditate and all this thing. That's the reason why all of meditation is to train the mind to be heedful, to be aware, to realize that nature within. And the fastest way to meditate is to go beyond thought-based meditation, follow Huineng's teaching. Straight away, the first hallmark of his teaching is to go to the no thought stage. No thought stage means to realize the true mind, the silent mind. Otherwise, you use your thought process, your thinking mind, your mundane mind to meditate. Then how can you meditate? That mundane mind or the thought, which is the meditator, is active. Actively doing what? In the name of meditation. Note this, note that. Follow instruction, become gullible. Then look for this, look for that. Focus, concentrate. Then do a lot of funny things without understanding. As long as that thinking process or the thought is active, how can you be silent? How can you be aware? How can you understand what is going on? How can your mind settle down? How can there be peace? How can there be clarity? All this is very, very clear.